Welcome back for another episode of Civility Wins, the Family Law Edition. I am your host, but today we have another host. Woohoo! Bianca Moreiras. She's back with us. But before we get to you hosting today, in honor of Women's History Month, I have this phenomenal team of professional women, and we're going to have a great discussion. And don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to the YouTube channel right in the link below. I am the founder and owner of KWG, Family Legal and Mediation Services. We are your knowledgeable, warm, and gracious attorneys. We help spouses divorce with civility, creating a legacy for themselves and those they love most. In honor of Women's History Month, ladies, I want to ask this question, and we'll turn it to you, Bianca. Who inspired you the most as a woman? There's so many women out there that have trailblazed for us to be here today. Of course, men get their kudos too who are supportive of women, but tell the audience, number one, who you are, what you do, and the woman that inspired you the most. I'll start with myself first, which was my mama. Yes, her name was Martha Ann Arrington Walker, and she was phenomenal. She unfortunately passed away of cancer in 2010, but I am who I am because of her. She was a strong woman. She was the first African-American female captain on her Air Force base in North Carolina. She came from very humble beginnings, worked very hard, and got her master's from Howard University, was a social worker, was a veteran, and retired after 30 years in social work at the VA, and she was phenomenal. So, love you, Mom. I know you're with me forever. Leah, go with you.
All right. So my name's Leah. I own a residential mortgage brokerage here in Florida and Arizona. We are female owned and operated. The name of the company is Lending Leah. And my mom also is going to be a woman that's like a trailblazer for me. So my mom was a single mom, and she really showed my sister and I how you can do it all. You know, you can have a house, you can have a career, and she taught us how to set up our lives so that if we had a partner, the partner was just bonus and not someone we had to rely on in our life. So Mom taught me how to stand up for myself and run my own way.
Awesome.
Love that. All right.
You, Christina?
I'm Christina Famy. I'm a commercial realtor with the Corey Group. This is a commercial real estate company. We also do design build. I started this with my partner, Nick Corey. And I've just started this in the last year. However, he's been doing it much longer than I have, but decided to bring my marketing skills and development skills to the company and kind of propel that forward. I moved to Fort Lauderdale 9 years ago from Los Angeles. I'm a California girl. It's hard to take that out of me, but we'll always be there. But I'm getting used to Fort Lauderdale. But it's been a good run here, and I'm going to follow your guys' lead. My mother is my inspiration. She too passed away about 10 years ago, but that woman was the ultimate feminist, a strong advocate for independence and knowing your worth and standing up for yourself, and always making sure that, she knew exactly who I was when I was born, and she made sure that my path I was pushed along that path, even though there was lots of uncomfortable moments along that path. And she's like, you'll thank me one day. And I forever thank her for that. She was a professional. She owned a business. She ran an amazing household. She was a anti-bully activist. She was an animal rescuer. She was an advocate for, I would say, the kind of the lost souls, the souls that couldn't speak. And I always really admired that and respected it. So same, she's with us, and very happy that I could talk about her in this forum. And thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Awesome.
Sharyn.
Hi, I'm Sharyn Peoples, and I'm the co-founder and owner of People's Title of South Florida. We started People's Title, actually, my 23rd anniversary is on April 1st.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we opened People's Title in April 1st of 2003, and I'm going to jump on the train with you ladies because my inspiration is my mother. She's my partner as well as my mom. She's always inspired me personally and professionally. As a child, she was extremely athletic and good at everything she did. So when I was a kid, I was in gymnastics and dance and softball and all that because of her. And what I love about my mom is when she was younger, in her younger years, she was a paralegal and a professional in Philadelphia. And then when she started popping out babies, she stopped her career and was a stay-at-home mom for the three of us, which I was so lucky to have as a child. You know, my dad was working a lot of long hours, and my mom was always there for me and always bringing the lemon bars to school and, you know, on the PTA and on the school board. And then when we moved to South Florida and the children were a little older, we were in high school, she got back into the professional world and was the manager of, and she started a title company in Pompano Beach. And I started working with her. And then that's why in 2003 we decided to just jump into it and become business partners. And she's vibrant and fun and amazing and brilliant. And I love her, and she's my best friend.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Thanks for letting me talk about her.
Yes, Mama.
I love you, Mom, Ellen.
We love you. Brandy.
I am Brandy Jefferson. I am the Senior Sales Manager of Black Belt Digital Marketing. I also do the onboarding for Academy Safe, and I founded She Sips, the women's nonprofit, or the women's nonprofit networking group. And I am going to go a little off with the rest of you guys. I'm going to say my grandmother. My grandmother was such a solid, steady, just person who was always there and always available for me. And she had just the right balance of like strength and compassion and just embodied everything that you want in a good person. She was forgiving and she was kind and she had this mindset of everybody's welcome here and nobody leaves without a full stomach and a hug. And one of the most inspiring things about her is the fact that she walked away from a really toxic marriage in the 1960s when she wasn't even able to have her own bank account. And, you know, she walked away from a toxic marriage and raised her two kids on her own. And, you know, as hard as that is now, I mean, imagine doing it when you legally can't even have a bank account. And she always did, and she could fix anything. And she, you know, when she passed away, she's been gone for 14 years now. When she passed away, we were cleaning out her stuff, and we went under her bed, and she had like this entire container that was just like tools and duct tape and glue, and like she could do anything, and she taught me that I could do anything, and and she's really inspiring. So I miss
Thank you for sharing,
miss you,
Brandy.
Grandma. Thanks.
Yeah. Bianca!
Yes.
On with the show, girl. All right. Bianca Moreiras here. I am a business development coach and consultant. Also work with people in career transition and life coaching. And I celebrated January 4th, going into my 22nd year. So that's always a great accomplishment. Yeah?
Yes.
But enough about me. I'm really going off the charts here. First, I want to say I think we've taken everything from every generation of the women in our lives. You know, from burning of bras to living through the war to whatever was going on, and also coming over on the boat, right? So most of us are not from, you know, originally
Irish,
from
maybe.
here. But I want to focus on someone that I have been in love with since 14 years old, and that's Bette Midler. Let me tell you, that girl rocks. She set the stage for being a wonderful philanthropist, a wonderful catalyst in her own arena. So I'm going to give kudos to her and all the women that did not have to depend on men to make it in the industry. Yes? And that is all of us.
Cheers to that.
Yes.
Keeping with the topic, Women's History Month. This is the arrival. I think right here, sitting at this table, we have at least 3 to 4 generations. That is huge. And I'm going to throw out some questions to you guys, and you just go with it. In the spirit of Women's History Month, what's a moment in your journey where you made claim to your power? And how did that decision change the trajectory of the business life or your life itself? I'm going to start with you, Kristen.
Okay. So I've been in business on my own since June of 2016. And I've been a mother since March 14th of 2012. And I would say, number one, being a mother, it really has shaped me into who I am also today. But my middle daughter, fortunately, unfortunately, at the time was born without oxygen. And I had to make a really, really crucial, scary decision to go out on my own because I had to go through physical and occupational therapy with her the first 3 years of her life. It was very scary. And in order to be able to have a flexible schedule, because I was working prior for someone else, I had to do it. And looking back 10 years later, being on my own, I would not change it for the world. And having 3 daughters is a blessing. And that really has made me and pushed me into doing what I do today. And they see me. And the oldest now wants to be an entrepreneur, have her own business. And they're all very strong-willed in a good way and know who they are, know what they want. And I would equate it to that decision that I made 10 years ago.
It's so beautiful to see how you take this responsibility not lightly, because you are literally bringing up the next generations of women. And I just love to watch you speak about your daughters and how you inspire them to be powerful and strong and break the mold and fearless. And thank you. Thank you for doing that. I love that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to jump in
We're
there.
going to be mushy here.
I was starting to get a little
Tissues.
and I was like, no.
And it's okay to cry, right, ladies?
All the crying is so good for you.
Yes.
Yes. Watch out. We're going places here, I can tell. You know, with each child is a new growth. And I, who know you now 6 years, have seen that growth and development and the sassiness of your first daughter.
Oh, gosh.
Who is just like you, but you don't get that, all right? And then to see the baby and Hannah, just, you know, you rock, girl. All right. My darling, Leah,
Yes.
bring us home.
Okay, so for me, there's one very pivotal part in my career that stands out. And about 6.5 years ago, I was drugged and raped by another mortgage loan officer in the industry. And I actually had a coworker at the time who helped cover it up.
Oh my God.
So when this happened, I had gone to the police. And I did attempt to set the record straight, I guess you could say, stand up for myself. The most I was awarded was a restraining order for a few months.
Wow.
And when that restraining order passed, I felt very unsafe because this was going to be someone that I was going to see everywhere. And I felt, how can I grow a career when I'm going to have to face this person every single place that I go? So I made a decision to take a big move. I actually moved over here to the East Coast of Florida. That was my reason for moving over here, and started a whole, not new career, still in the mortgage business, but I went from being a loan officer assistant, stepping into a loan officer role, going from a set pay to 100% commission. And it was terrifying and also the biggest catalyst to starting my career. I became an advocate, and actually as time went on, I ended up opening my own company 2 years ago, and mainly to get away from just the sexual harassment that goes on within the mortgage industry. I wanted a safe space to grow my career, and I wanted to offer women and other people who felt estranged in the industry, I wanted them to have a safe place to grow their career.
First, let me
beautiful.
comment on that. Thank you for your bravery.
Yes.
Thank you for speaking out for so many that haven't spoken out. And we've seen in the last 20 years
Right.
people stepping forward finally. And we have a voice. Just because we're all so gorgeous and just because we're so sexy doesn't mean you have a right to step over the line. Because bottom line, no is no. And thank you for sharing that. That
Yes.
was super special.
This was actually the first time I've publicly shared that. So
Well,
thank you, ladies,
Thank
for
you.
creating
Someone's going to reach out, whether they need a mortgage or not. They might need some advice there. Wow.
Creating safe
Awesome.
spaces.
And
I love
that you allowed that, instead of that quieting you and silencing you, you allowed that to prop you up and become a voice for those and really empower you. And that's the magic right there.
A lot of people have that story.
There's a fork.
So many.
It's a fork.
So many.
And it's clear, and you went for it. Congratulations.
Awesome. Thank you. How about you, Brandy? What's going on?
Oh boy. So I grew up in Indiana, and I kind of, not everybody, but a lot of the people I went to school with, a lot of the people I grew up around with, it was, you finish high school, you maybe go to college, you get married, and you have babies. And that was kind of like the mindset. And I got married really young, and, and I just realized that that life just like wasn't for me, and it wasn't what I wanted. And I wanted to do a lot of things, and I wanted to achieve things, and I wanted to have things that I was proud of. And so the biggest thing for me was, I got out of my marriage, and years later, I paid off all my debt, and I did all these things, and years later, I decided that I was going to move to Florida by myself, and nobody believed me. And I had lots of family members who would say to my mom, like, oh, she's not going to go. She's not going to go to Florida all by herself. And I packed up my stuff, and I took my dogs in my car, and I drove all the way to Florida. And it was really, really hard when I first got here. The money was tight, and there was one time where I took out a loan to pay my rent for 2 months. Like, money was so bad, and I was like, I am going to succeed or I am going to fail, but I am not going down without really trying and giving it everything I have. And that was, like, the biggest moment for me, was my big, like, F you to, like, everybody that just did not believe that I could do things. And I leaned into my spirit of my grandmother, and I did.
Awesome. Wow.
So, yeah.
Good for you.
Thanks.
I like
Yeah.
that pioneer woman coming,
Yeah.
across the
And
roads.
the AC in my car went out the day before I left. And I was like, I don't care. I rolled all my windows down, and I drove to Florida. I was like, we're going.
Determined.
And then my pods got lost. It was, listen, a lot of things went wrong, guys, but I'm here, and it's 4 years later, and we've rebuilt.
But look at what you've accomplished in 4
Right.
years.
Exactly.
4 years is a very short window of
Exactly.
time.
I'll rebuild as many times as I need to. I don't care. I will continue
That's right.
to elevate. So
Fearless.
as many
That
times as I
story.
need to, I'll do
I
it.
love it.
Unstoppable.
Absolutely tenacious.
Unstoppable.
That's my word, tenacious.
Love that word.
Yeah.
Sharon.
Oh, okay. So, very similar. We're in a similar industry, Leah and I. I'm in the title side, but it's real estate. And would you agree that there's the operational side, which is very heavy female,
Yes.
correct? But then the sales side is very male dominant.
100%.
Title, real estate, and mortgage.
Yes.
So when I started my career, I was very young in my 20s, and I was trying to fit in, trying to be one of the boys and put up with the misogyny and the sexual harassment that many of us, especially when we're so attractive, have been exposed to, right? I mean, I feel for you, and luckily that didn't happen, but a lot of disgusting similar things happen in this industry. And I think the aha moment for me was when I was talking to a female coach, and they gave me the permission to brand myself to who I am. For these ladies who know me here, my degree is in musical theater. I sometimes call myself a Muppet. I'm very animated, I'm loud, I'm boisterous.
Love it.
And that's who I am. And for so long, I tried to fight that. And once I got this permission from this female coach to brand myself and become the singing title lady, the floodgates opened.
Yeah.
I found myself, I'm happier, I'm more confident. I sing my elevator pitch now.
It's amazing.
And I really think that has made me so much happier in my career and stand out to other people in the industry and find that confidence that I was lacking a little when I was trying to be someone else. So listen to yourselves. Don't be afraid to brand yourselves. Find what's important to you, pets, whatever it is, and lean into that, because that's what makes us so special and why people want to know, like, and trust us and do business with us.
You can't lose being your authentic self.
Yeah.
And it attracts your ideal client. If you're pretending to be someone you don't want, you're going to attract the people you don't want.
Absolutely.
When you're yourself, you're going to naturally bring in the people that you want to work with.
Those relationships, they're just so genuine when you show up as yourself that they stay with you for forever too.
And being able to make that choice to do business with the people that you want to do with is so
Yes.
freeing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, sitting here as the senior of this group, in May I'll be 70. Yes, I know I look fabulous. Thank you so much. You got to take care of yourself. Joy.
Yes.
Joy you own. Do not give that up for anybody. And so if the joy is your singing, and your joy is your pets, and the joy is bling all over your office, and whatever it may be, no one can steal your joy. If you stay in that mindset, you will be a catalyst in whatever you do. So take that with you,
My
ladies.
mother used to say that. And my father would
That's what it
say,
is.
being happy is your birthright.
Oh, I love
Absolutely.
Love that.
Absolutely.
It's your birthright. And when he
Yeah.
said that to me, it was so striking. It was such a powerful thing in that moment of what I was going through. And it reinforced that for me. It's your birthright.
So
Beautiful.
continue, Christina.
Okay,
You-
well, thank you. This is a hard act to follow, guys. It's really inspiring to be sitting in this room. But for me, when I moved here 9 years ago, I moved here married. I moved here leaving corporate America. I have 20 plus years of marketing and advertising experience working at big advertising agencies, really like showing up and doing the work for other people every day, which I loved. I had great clients. I really enjoyed working with them. My superpower is building relationships, forming relationships, building that trust. It is critical and important to get, making decisions about your business, getting contracts done, deals, whatever. So that was my role really for 20 plus years. Came here, I got my real estate license in a week. I was gung-ho. I've always loved real estate. I was really interested in it. And then reality kind of struck. I was like, wow, I'm a new girl here. Real estate is really hard. So I went back to something that I knew, which was advertising. I went back to corporate. I call her Corporate Christina. Put my little Corporate Christina hat back on, and I went back into advertising and went through COVID and went through a divorce and went through all of that, and I was miserable. I was so unhappy. I was just stressed out, working for other people, all the things. I loved what I do. I love agency life, but again, I was not being true to myself. So at the end of last year, I had the opportunity to put the Corporate Christina hat back on the shelf and given the opportunity to go back into real estate. And I said, this is it. This is the time to do it. And fortunately, I have a partner that supports me in it. And I said, all of these skills that I have, we call them soft skills, right? I hate that word, but it's true. Like hard skills, you're really analytical or whatever. I have an MBA. I have things that I can show a degree in, but the soft skills of relationship building, being an advisor, being somebody that you can trust to make those really big decisions. On paper, advertising and real estate may seem like really different things, but it's not. They're really similar because you are really helping people with making those important financial decisions, whether for their business, which is what I really want to focus on the commercial side, or whether it's personal for their home and their families. So for me, it was a natural transition. So for me, it was that last and it was a layoff. And I was like, enough of Corporate Christina. This is the universe telling me, go back to what you're good at doing. Get back. And it was like working remote post-COVID and all of those things. And it just wasn't me. I need to be face-to-face. I need to sit in a room with powerful women and feel inspired and motivated and help people. So that was my big one, was at the end of last year, was just that final nudge. And it was the universe saying, it's time, go back. So that was it.
Here
No more
you
CC.
are.
No more CC, man. It's easy.
Wow.
Entrepreneur Christina.
That was a great segue, Christina, into our next question, which has to do with entrepreneurship. Often comes with invisible rules. And what do I mean by that? You have the answer. I do not. Especially in the fields that we're in and that we're women. What's one rule that you broke and actually became your greatest and actually became your greatest advantage? I'm going to start with you, Christina.
Yeah, and I was listening to you, and I was thinking that a lot of what I said in my last answer can really be applied to this question. For me, first of all, I don't like rules. Rules to me, it's just how I've been. I can follow the rules if I have to, but I prefer to bend them if I need to. I can play in the sandbox. I said this to somebody the other day. I said, I can play in the sandbox. I just like different toys. And I think that's a good example. For me, it was, you don't have to be defined by your career. And for me, it was like fresh. And I was working in college. I started in marketing in college, and it just was this path. And I had this great trajectory, and I was like, I'm going to rise the corporate ladder of advertising. I'm going to, do this and do that. And, I just realized that that really ultimately wasn't for me. And it's like, can I break that rule of leaving this career after 20 years of ever being defined by it for so long and building such, working with really great clients and notable clients. And I felt like this was my path for so long. And it was hard. It was almost like a death, but it's like, yeah, I can break that rule. I can break this rule of after 20 years in your mid 40s, you can pivot. It's okay. And I think a lot of people are fearful of that. And it's like being introspective of the skill sets that you've learned within that, those soft skills that I like to say of relationship building, project management, being organized, knowing how to command a room with males in a boardroom. Most of my clients were men. And how can I segue that into something? And it was a big rule to break. And I think we just need to realize that, like, you are not defined by whatever job or corporate world you're in. You can break that rule. Just think about what are those skills that you've learned along the way, and how can you apply that into something that might be more meaningful for you. So maybe it's not a hard and fast rule, but it's more of it was hard because, like I said, it was almost like a death of losing that 20 years of this like drive and this trajectory to start over. And it's okay to start over. And I think you can break that rule of having to just stay in that lane because it's safe. You get a paycheck. You know what you're going to do when you wake up. You know the rules of engagement. They're clear. You can break those rules and you can go out on your own. You just have to really figure out what are your strengths and apply that to wherever you want to be.
Awesome. Those are great words to the wise. I just wanted to add to that. You're absolutely correct. Most people go through life, I am a mortgage broker. I am Bianca Moreiras, a brassy broad from Brooklyn. And, the power is within. The joy is here, the happiness. And find where you're going. And I remember a time where I had to take a law firm not too long ago in half. So 50 people, 25 people will let go all at one time.
Been there.
Those people had to be reminded when they walked in the door, they were walking out as the same person with a new opportunity. And that trajectory changes mindset. So keep that in mind. But I want Leah. Same question because wow.
So if anyone's familiar with the mortgage industry, or just when you think of mortgages, you probably think of simple, kind of basic, maybe kind of boring, stoic. I totally flipped that script. So my company, my branding is pink, vibrant, sparkly. Like, you go to my website and a girl does this. There's no doubts in your mind. And that makes people uncomfortable sometimes in the mortgage business. Sorry, it does. It does.
The evil laugh.
And
don't hold back.
one of the other things I've started doing over the last 6 months or so is being very authentic of my whole self, kind of what you guys were talking about. So a big part of my whole self is I'm also a competitive pole dancer. Woohoo! And for a very long time, I kept my world separate, and I realized I was super unhappy. So I started working with my therapist on how can I live an authentic life. So, talk about really flip the script is I'm a pole dancing mortgage broker who owns a pink company.
I love it.
Your approval on your face.
I'm so happy right now.
You have the strongest look of approval. You were like, I love it.
He's my new best friend, I think.
The whole point of that, of flipping that script and what it's done, I've actually seen my career jump, and I've seen interest in ideal clients jump because I'm being authentically me, I'm attracting who I want. And I want to show not just women, but show the world that you can like pink and sparkles and dance and be sexy and professional, educated, a powerhouse, and the two don't cancel each other out.
Woohoo! Oh, yeah. Okay, that's a clap. We're clapping for you.
Yes.
Oh,
Love
my
it.
gosh. I love it.
I've also heard that's a great workout.
It really is. Oh my gosh. So
Yeah. Hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
All right, no air conditioning, entrepreneur. What, changed everything for you, Brandy? No rules.
Yeah, so, I think that as women, I think that there are just so many expectations on who you should be and the mold that you should fit in. And I know that this touches on things that everybody here has said, but it really is just, I went from, being in hospitality for 21 years to now I branched off of the marketing I was doing in restaurants and I'm doing digital marketing now. And it was this, I'm networking with people and I feel this sense of like, initially I felt this sense of like I should shrink myself a little. I should be less loud. I should be less opinionated. I should be less of who I am. And then I met, a lot of other women and I was like, no, like we're not going to do that at all. We're not going to do that at all because I can be a professional and I can still be loud and I can still have opinions and I can still sometimes drink a little too much and I can still do what I do and be who I am and still show up and be a professional and know what I'm talking about and get the job done. And it's very much the same type of thing that you're saying. Like I am just showing up authentically. I'm just not shrinking myself. I'm not fitting into the box. I'm not going to be who you want me to be. And if you're uncomfortable with that, you can see yourself out. Like, I'm just showing up how I am.
As my sassy oldest would
Yeah.
say, that looks like a you problem.
That's, yeah.
Let's bring it to you, Kristen.
So, attorneys. I say this a lot jokingly because I have a whole bunch of attorney colleagues that I love, but I hate attorneys as well. And I think that stepping out of what everybody else said, like feeling like I have to be like this bulldog attorney and like litigate and like, be tough. And it's like, no, my superpower is very emotional, it's very nurturing, it's very strategic, and I'm going to step into that superpower and I'm going to do it well. And when you go in front of a judge in court, the judges aren't going to look at who is yelling the loudest. They're going to look at who is sticking to the law, who is being strategic, who is really being professional in a courtroom setting. And I love it. So my parents, I can't say I'm from the South. My parents were from the South. And it's one of those things where you can be very diplomatic, but very assertive at the same time. And
Yes.
Again, that's my superpower.
All right. I
It's
love that.
stepping into my emotional intelligence.
Yeah, I love it. That's
I think
great.
that's going to become more of a need and want and high level skill as time continues
And that's
to go
that
on.
word, that soft skill that I hate saying. We gotta come up with a different term because it's not soft.
No.
That's the power right there.
Yeah.
So it's like not the like, oh, I have a degree in analytics or something. Not to say that I don't.
Feels like a very,
I don't.
it feels like a very elevated skill. is
I
what it
don't,
feels like.
and I
Yeah.
understand the numbers. I'm great at analyzing numbers, but that's not my superpower. And bringing that emotional intelligence to the table, I'm telling you, not many people can do that.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Well, our puppet over here, no.
Or Muppet.
Our Muppet. I knew it was Muppet, puppet, something, I wasn't sure. Sharyn, take us home on this question.
Well, I just want to say thank you for everything you all have shared, and I can, it all resonates with me because I think we all have very similar struggles as female professionals in the business world. And what's really interesting? When I was in my 20s and I was doing this job, I actually had a realtor come up to me and tell me that she would not do business with me because I had a tattoo.
Okay.
A tattoo! And I was a little nervous because, again, I am that boisterous Muppet that I talk about. So I was like, oh my gosh, maybe I need to change who I am and I need to be better. And fighting that and bucking that system where our Instagram page is ridiculous. I sing on it all the time. We're doing stupid, fun, silly things because title is boring, just like you said. It's boring. We make our closings awesome. I sing to my people and my closings and they love it. And I think giving myself the permission not only to really just be my authentic self and realize that people will want to do business with me even more because of that.
Yes.
Going to meetings where I was at a networking meeting, Marketing Madness in Boca, I'll say it, I don't care, for and like I said, I sing my elevator pitch, and do you know I had 2 middle-aged white men get up after me, and it's like, well, I'm professional, I don't sing and do and everything, and tried to diminish me in this meeting with their little time they had. And I was like, oh, sad for you. I'm so sorry you're focusing on trying to put me down instead of elevating yourself. It just made me look better, which was great. But I think that really just bucking that system and choosing the people that you want to surround yourself with has just exponentially opened my mind. It's made me so much happier. It's made me a better business owner. I'm not scared anymore. I really, the fear has left because when you're afraid that you're not going to get that next deal because as, non-W-2 employees, self-employed, where the hamster wheel happens every week and you are the person making your paycheck, you get a little fearful that you can't be what you want to be and bring this to this boring industry. And I'm just glad I did. And I implore all of you, lean into what you love, lean into what makes you you, and the money will flow.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Clap, clap. Clapping for her, girls. Clapping. Thank you. I'm going to have to add to this before we move on to our next question. What I haven't heard yet in our conversation is the building of confidence and not letting someone shred away who you're becoming. And holding on to the real person of love, kindness, genuineness, paying it forward, and allowing others to see us shine no matter what. It's standing up straight and walking into the room, maybe like a bull in a china closet,
That's right.
but allowing people to feel your essence, to see your self-esteem, and not let anyone carve a hole into that. Because when we allow it to become Swiss cheese, we become Swiss cheese, right? At this table are pillars of the female community. I never forget that, and I'm very honored to sit here with all of you.
Can I say one? I'm
Please.
sorry to interrupt you because I was thinking about that, and I wanted to say like that 20 years of marketing and advertising and working in big ad agencies, I don't think I could be doing what I'm doing without that experience. And I had to go back to it one more time to really kind of like get that confidence to really figure out how is Christina in this workplace so that when it was time for me to finally put that hat back on the shelf, I knew exactly. And it's a very, Christina in real estate 8 years ago is very different from the Christina that is doing real estate now. Completely different. The mindset is different. My confidence is different. So I don't want to diminish the work that I did because I know for a fact that I would not be doing this if I did not have that previous experience and showing up in the way that I am. It brought me here. There's no way. So thank you for saying that. Thank you for giving me the time to say it. And I didn't mean to interrupt you at the end of that. But it really I was thinking about it and I wanted a place to say that because it's true. It's totally true. And that's what brought me here. I mean, I'm starting over in my mid-40s, but for a reason. And it was that confidence that was built up over those years.
And you can't let anyone break that down because people are attracted to that confidence. It's not that you're being more boisterous or overbearing or anything like that. But when your aura explodes into a room and people are saying, I want what you have, they don't even know who you are, right? Always walk into the room knowing that you're the best thing that's going to happen to that room. And with that, you will carry that emotion and that feeling throughout the whole thread of your life. So thank you for adding to that. But we have one more question. Let's do it. Woo! All right. And I am actually going to start with you, Sharyn, because I've been making you last all the way. So you're going to be first.
Okay.
Fast forward 10 years. Whoosh. For me, I must have to stop and say, I'm in love, I have a boyfriend, and I'm going to spend every day excited and happy and just know that someone supports me and loves me so deeply. So fast forward for me, I'm not even going to answer this question, but I'll tell you some stuff. Legacy, so important. I know we all think about it. Right now, how are you intentionally opening doors for the next generation of women coming up behind you?
That's such a great question. Thanks for asking. So it's interesting that you're asking right this moment because we actually have just hired a person to start with us on the 6th, and she is a female who is a very, very smart, intelligent, personable person who doesn't necessarily have title experience. So she wants to expand her world. She wants to learn something new, and she wants to grow with our company. So I think that what we are doing right now is we are looking for people like that who want to grow with us and learn the title industry and make unlimited money, because as a marketing person, your salary is set by you and how much work you do. So we want to open multiple locations in Florida because we can do title in the state of Florida. And I want to start empowering women who maybe don't know this industry or are familiar, maybe they're industry adjacent and they want to try something different and they want to leap, because I unfortunately can't have children. And so I don't have a daughter to pass down to. So I'm looking for a daughter to pass to, because, you know, my mom and I started this. I'm going to get emotional. And I really want to continue to pass this on and build that legacy with powerful, amazing females and just grow an industry that's very male-centric and make it as beautiful as we are.
Love it. Oh, we got to clap for her.
I love you guys so much. What a fun day this has been.
Right?
Well, Brandy, since you're, giving the good love touches there,
Give
and
you
we
all my
all
love
need
touches.
that.
Yeah.
You take the question.
I'm very intentional with the businesses that I choose to grow, that I choose to found, that I choose to support. I'm very intentional in making sure that the way that they do business, their morals, that it aligns with me and what I align with, and the type of future that I want. I think that the more that we make it a point to turn away businesses that are not behaving in a way that we see as being acceptable is something that's really important. And so I work with Black Belt Digital Marketing, which is owned by a man. And I don't know that I've ever heard him call himself a feminist, but his behavior, the way that he behaves, is very feminist. He respects women, he sees the value of women, and he very actively and openly, like most, our whole staff is women. We've tried hiring men, but you go where the skills are. And but he's very, like, the way that he shows value and tells you that you're doing a great job and builds you up, and he also is the owner of, or the founder of, Academy Safe, which is the nonprofit that I do the onboarding for. When it comes to that, we just recently, there was a woman with her name's Chris Rodriguez. She's a very, very big name and a very well-known person in the martial arts world, and she just joined our board with Academy Safe. And I've heard him talk about her for well over a year already at this point. He just would talk about how inspired he is by her and how amazing she is and all the things that he's learning from her, and just the way that he talks about women, the way that he treats women, the way that he, it's very, and he started all of this, he started for his daughter because he wanted to give her the option of having a different kind of life. And so I make it intentional, who I work for, and then, founding She-Sips, which is all about women uplifting each other. Yeah. And then also the places where I'm willing to spend my money and who I'm willing to do business with. I need your morals, I need your values, I need how you show up to align with how I show up, because at the end of the day, all of it reflects on me. My referrals reflect on me, who I choose to align myself with. It all reflects on me, and I want to build a world that's a safe that's a safe space for women.
It's so important.
Yeah.
Safe space, so important. My
And that
goodness.
choice of
Yeah.
picking people that are performing well and
Yes.
supporting women, that's so smart. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a really good
Aligned
point.
clients, it's on my vision
Yes.
board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that mirror that we can look at. And after 22 years in my business, I could say, no, I don't want to work with you.
Right?
But when
Yes.
you say that out loud at your 3rd year, your 5th year, your 7th year, and then you come into your 20th year and you say that out loud, that is a milestone. And I look forward to all of you getting to that milestone. But Leah, what are you doing 10 years forward?
So 10 years forward,
Legacy.
two things. First, I hire women for my company, so showcasing to other women that you can be your authentic self in the mortgage business, and you can be girly and fun and be amazing at what you do. So that's one. But two, recently I've had a burning passion to maybe expose some of the sexual harassment and sexual assault that goes on within the mortgage industry. I could tell you story after story, and it comes from high up and it trickles down. Just like I heard a quote recently that was, there's a Harvey Weinstein, there's a Jeffrey Epstein, there's a Larry Nassar in every industry. And they are definitely in the mortgage industry. And so part of what I would like to do and pave way over the next 10 years would be to help break that, to showcase that to the world, that it's there. And I think if we can break it, that's the first step in changing it. Because I want women to be able to get into this business and grow their careers and make money and be successful. And it's really hard to do when you're not safe.
That's so powerful.
Wow.
So that, I think, is more than anything, more than just bringing them in and teaching them, is that would be my bigger vision, would be that we find the Jeffrey Epsteins of the mortgage industry and we get them the hell out.
Well, we look forward to seeing you in the news. All right.
And we're all behind you.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome.
Call me.
Awesome.
Yeah, Brandy will do it.
I bring weapons.
Your nails.
Yeah, I was just saying those nails. I love those nails.
I mean, it's the most convenient.
Kristen, I know that legacy is really important to you. You and I must have had 5,000 conversations about it. Take it away.
Oh gosh. So I see myself, and I've started to do it, which community service is huge, and I think that all of us can relate to this, giving back to the community. My mom, going to go back there, she and my dad would always say, regardless of how high you rise in whatever you do, never forget where you come from and remain humble, because when you're humble, the sky is the limit. And so I'll start with that. I love educating. I love teaching the younger generation. I had an intern from American Heritage who wants to be a family law attorney. She interned with me last summer. And I am going to be bringing on people from law school, whether it's Nova or St. Thomas, to intern in the summer. And looking for an associate.
Woo!
Yes, in the next few months. But I also am looking long term. I am not going to be in this seat as an attorney in the next 10 years. You'll see me as a judge.
Yes.
I will be at the bench, but my legacy will continue with KWG, with whomever is going to continue on with that. And if one or two or all three of my daughters, right now the middle one is the only one that says she wants to be a lawyer and a judge. She's going to fight somebody if they mess with anybody that she loves. The oldest has no interest, what she says, but we'll see. It can go to them, whether it's Rachel, Hannah, or Sarah, or all three of them. That's what I'm looking at.
Amazing.
Yeah.
An in-house legacy, which if we would all focus on an in-house legacy in our own world, cousins, aunts, all the people that come into our lives, daughters, whatever, the world will be a better place. So I commend you for that. I really do. Christina, you're going to take us home. Not really, because I'm going to take us home, but
Okay.
you take us here.
I love this question. You inspired me for the second half of my answer, but mine's twofold. Anecdotally, commercial real estate feels very male dominated, like the mortgage industry. Residential real estate tends, I don't have the data, I don't know the numbers, these are just kind of like what I see subjectively out there, but I've tend to gravitate towards male dominated industries for whatever reason. We don't need to, that's a different podcast. It's a much different podcast. But for me, it's like, I love to play in a space where there's not a lot of people that look like me, right? Whatever that is. And there's no reason why I can't be in that space, why I can't work in that. So for me, it was a natural inclination. I'm also very business minded. I really like to be, I want to help people in their businesses, small, large, whatever, really hone in on what keeps you up at night. And it could be, you could be the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, or you could have 2 employees. It doesn't matter. The things that, cause those business stresses are usually the same. They're all the same. I've asked questions of multiple. So for me, it's like, how can I bring that to a space that is not really have a lot of women that look like me in it? Can I create a place where more women can feel comfortable to join? And people are like, I'm so intimidated by it. I'm like, it's really the same thing. It's just different words and different numbers. You can figure it out. So it's like, how can I democratize that for more female realtors to feel like they can kind of play in that sandbox? So is there a way to do that? Can I create more of a world of commercial realtors for women, so we can talk and have these minutes, like where are our challenges? So that's me in 10 years. It's going to take time, because I am still new to the space. I have a partner that is not new to the space, and he's encouraging me, so I'm learning a lot from him. But bringing that mindset to commercial real estate is like, I want to empower women. So 10 years from now, how can I want to leave that legacy for women. And what does that look like? I don't know yet. We're working on it. Twofold. You inspired me, and I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to do it. So I was in the car the other morning taking my boyfriend's daughter to school, and her emotional intelligence is through the roof. I love her. She too, she was an EQ baby. She's a fighter. She's so in tune. She is very in tune to my behavior. I'm probably going to go over 2 minutes. I'm sorry. So we were in the car, and she's like, where do you go every Wednesday? Because she always sees me dressed up on Wednesday. She doesn't see me dressed up any other. And she's like, do you go to work? And I'm like, kind of. And I explained it to her, and I was like, well, and then I do these commercials, and I stand up, and I explained to her all of BNI in like 10 minutes. And no, sorry, I'm using acronyms for those that don't know, but it's a business networking group where I know a lot of these women. And I explained it to her, and they knew me as Marketing Christina. They knew me as, the girl that does commercials and travels for work and all this stuff. And she looked at me and she goes, wow. I said, what? She goes, and you started this business, and you're doing all of this in like 2 months? And I was, and I said, yes, I did. And I'm getting emotional because it was so like real. And I too can't have children. And I was thinking to myself, like, this is a legacy.
Absolutely.
I swear I wasn't going to cry, but like, honestly.
And give yourself grace. That's
Thank
one
you.
thing I always like to say to people.
Yeah.
We can be our worst enemies.
So tough on
and
ourselves.
tough on ourselves.
yeah.
But
Yeah, and it was such a pure moment. And she told me, and it was like, nobody else has said that to me. I mean, my partner, Nick, he's always encouraging.
Yeah.
He's like, you're doing great, but like, this child, she's 11. She doesn't understand commercial real estate. And I was like telling her my commercials, and she's like, wow. And last night, I actually closed a deal last night, and she looked at me, and she looked at Nick, her dad, and she's like, she's doing better than you. And I was dying, and he kind of gave me
I bet he loved
she
it.
got a contract signed, and you didn't. And I was like, oh. And I just looked at her, I was like, I adore you. And that's the other legacy, is showing these girls, like, you can pivot.
Yes.
You can go out on your own. And I always tell these girls, like, don't let anybody dull your shine. We were talking about that. You said that. And it's like, you can change. You don't like something, change it. You can own it, own the space. So it's twofold. So thank you for letting me be vulnerable today. Thank you, Sharyn. Appreciate
Well,
that.
I want to bring this home because a couple of things that you ladies have said, definitely hit home. In 10 years, like I said, I am just looking forward to every day accomplishing one thing, best day of my life, and being with my sweet Pete and just living large. However, I too could not have children. I have 2 amazing adopted boys. Tomorrow, my oldest will be turning 30. I was 40 when I adopted my first child, so you could do the math here, okay? And it's never too late. There are many children out there that need our help, that need to help us survive. And when they were born in my heart, and I will tell you, they saved me. And when I tell them that, they say, "No, Mom, you saved us." So look to the legacy of building your world. But more so, I want to bring us to a place where we're going to leave the audience wanting more. Okay. And by no means to all the gentlemen out there, we were not here to,
love you, Marlon.
supersede or, step on any of you. But the reality is that we've been living forever in a male-dominated world, and the women are really the ones that hold them up in every way, shape, and form. So please respect the women out there. Get help if you don't know how to, okay? I want everyone, and I'm going to go, counterclockwise here, one word of inspiration for women to take and carry with them. Ooh. Leah.
Oh, gosh, put me on the spot on this one. Resilience would be my word.
Can I use that? Yeah, resilience. Absolutely. That's 100%. That's the perfect word. I'm sorry, I'm not being original. But it's a good one.
It is. Yes. Pivot.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a good one.
Aspire.
Be tenacious. If you have to fail
One word.
over and over and over, I'm just saying, keep failing.
Keep failing.
Keep failing.
Along the lines, perseverance.
Yeah,
Perseverance.
perseverance. All good. I'm going to turn this back over to Kristen to wrap it up. But you have to agree that this was awesome, girls. There's some girl power. Yeah. Kristen, take it away.
That's it. That's all, folks. So thank you so much to each and every one of you. You made this episode amazing. And again, Kristen Goss, everybody, founder and owner of KWG, Family Legal and Mediation Services. Happy Women's History Month. Yes. Yes. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We will be back next time. But until then, take care.